it's funny. I actually recently went to study abroad in the Netherlands and saw some families because my family, about 2 generations back, are dairy farmers in the Netherlands. And so I went and saw their family farm.
See, this is C1. This one, these are Gelfies. This one was just born a day ago. But he's a little boy.
Looks strong for a day. That's impressive.
Yeah. He might have been born. One of the main reasons I'm looking at his umbilical cord is still wet,
Okay.
so it hasn't dried up, which means he was probably born in the storm last night. Yesterday.
So how long has Mama been pregnant then?
9 months.
9 months? Same
Yeah.
as us?
And there's the daddy right there.
And how many, is there only one bowl for? Correct. Is it, do you have trouble getting to the calf? Is mom protected for a while, or?
I like to, we castrate all our calves ourselves because we don't want more bulls. And so I'll catch him probably this afternoon. I'll grab him and castrate him.
Okay.
And Mama, as you can see, is walking away with the baby, and she's protected.
Yeah.
She doesn't like it, but it's what we have to do.
Yeah. And so then, is there any other than, I guess, castrating? What is the process for newborn males and female?
Well, with the females, we just tag them.
Okay.
This particular mama, her number was B146. We'll tag that baby with whatever this year is. I think it's M. Yeah, M. So it'll be M146 is what the new baby's tag would be.
Okay.
The first letter in our herd is the year that the animal was born.
Okay. Yeah.
And the second, the number is the number of the mama.
Mm-hmm.
So that lets us track which mothers give us what kind of calves. Mm-hmm. You were asking what the breed is. These are Gelfies.
Go. Yeah.
And that's an Angus bull. And when we cross the two, we get a special hybrid that gives us a really well marbled ribeye and meat. So, and one of the main reasons we've chosen this particular breed is the birth weight of the calf is relatively small, less than 100 pounds. So the mamas don't have problems calving. You don't have to pull or watch them and all that sort of stuff. But once they hit the ground, they grow very quickly.
Okay.
So as you can tell with that calf, there's only about 2 months. M9 over there is about 2 months older than the one that was just born.
Okay.
And it's probably twice the size.
Yeah. Yeah. So how much of is this a unique thing to have this particular kind of crossbreed, or is this a standard, or what's?
Well, I think it's not unique, but it's also not standard. Okay. There's a lot of people that have Gelbvieh. Gelbvieh was developed in Germany, in a little town, not a little town, but in the city of Stuttgart, which happened to be the city I was born in.
Oh, really?
So which is why I chose, because they were developed pretty much at the same time that I was born.
Okay.
And the seed stock was sent over here. No animals could come over because of import restrictions. So none of our Gelbvieh are 100% Gelbvieh. They're all some sort of, at some point they had some other breed in them. And like, although this mother right here might be 80-90% gelb feed, we're crossing her with an Angus, so her babies are going to be 50% Angus.
And so do you have like a file on the genetics of all of your
Yes.
mother calves? Okay.
Yeah. And we keep track of all of the births and how old they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this one looking at me, L154, he's probably 6 or 7 months. I could go back in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at M9 behind, M9's probably 2 months. So you see the difference. And that difference comes because the mamas are eating this lush grass.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes out in their milk and produces.
How long are they drinking milk for?
We tend to pull the calves off at 6 to 8 months.
So you initiate the process of weaning off?
Correct.
Okay, and is that what's that process like?
Well, it's fairly easy when the calves are healthy.
Okay.
You know, because they're already eating grass. You'll see when they're out grazing that the calves are eating grass, and they don't really need the milk anymore. After 6 months, we find that they don't really need it. But, you know, we all like to have things we don't need, you know?
Yeah.
But the one of the main reasons we pull that off is we want the mother to recover because she's got another baby inside. So she'll get bred back like that mom that just had the baby. For a month, she won't be fertile, but next month she'll be fertile again. And the bull will breed her. And she'll be pregnant somewhere in the 2 to 3 month range when that calf is 2 or 3 months old. Like this one, the M9, her mom, just standing right there, is probably already edible grass in it for them.
Okay.
Because they're always in here. So, you know, nothing is. And so we feed them, in this case, we were feeding them haylage, which is, in this case, it was pearl millet that we harvested and baled and made haylage out of. And here we also supplement a little bit of grain, give them a little bit of corn and that sort of thing, because we find that really helps with the marbling.
Okay.
And gives us the quality that we want. And let's see, they'll come running in a minute when I come in here. You can stay out here. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I know how they're going to come running. We get a bucket.
A bucket?
A bucket.
You go out there with treats or something?
Yeah, you know, right?
See, look at here. They see me going to the feed bin.
Oh yeah.
That's the corn. That's the, that's like the little treat.
Yeah.
But one thing you're seeing here, you see all different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the oldest animal in here is the one coming at us first, right over here on the right. And I think it's J154. That's animal's going to be 3 years old. Everything else is, everything in here is between 10 months and 3 years.
Yeah.
With the bigger ones, like this one over here, being 3 years old. And we'll harvest him next.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever one it is. I mean, it might be this one. You know, the tag's getting a little rubbed out. But you see, like this is J. That's a year earlier than the K's.
Mm-hmm.
So there's J154, I think, is the oldest. And then there's J150, that one, and then J8 right there. So we have 3 of them that are ready to go right now. And that animal right there will produce close to 900 pounds of meat.
Okay. So he has what is his weight right now? He's like on hoof.
He'll probably be 1,600 pounds.
60, okay. saying
15 to 1600 pounds. We lose in our breed, typical breeds like the Angus and those breeds, Simmentals, you'll lose 50%. We lose only 40%.
okay.
And that's because of the breed.
Okay. So looking at these cows, do you see a difference? Like, like perhaps like one cow might have better marbling than another just by looking at them now, or is it just kind of
Yes.
wait and see?
I will see a good place to look is you look at the one that has the rump towards us. Right here where you can see the tail pointing towards us, the one back there in the back.
Yes. Yeah.
You see that rear is very round. That means that there's a good amount of fat there.
Okay.
Whereas you look at this animal right here, K8, if you look down the back is a little bit pointed. Well, what you're looking at is the New York strip is beside. And if the back is up, then the bone is actually higher than the New York strip. So that New York strip needs more time to grow.
Okay.
When you look at the older animals, you'll actually see the back ridge start folding in, where the muscle and the fat is growing over the bone. And that's the ideal place to harvest.
Okay.
But if you see a ridge, luckily none of my animals have that. But if you were to go to the stock market, you would actually see a ridge of bone going down the middle of the back. And those animals have no fat, no muscle. They've been starved, basically.
Okay.
You won't see that here because ours aren't starved. But like you see these little calves over here, they have a little bit of a coat that's not as smooth as some of these others. More than likely, they might have a little bit of a parasite, and I'll pull them out. Like this one right here, you see how its coat is all bunchy like that. It could be that she's got a parasite.
Okay. And is that just something that you have to worry about her, or is that going to maybe spread to the other cattle?
What we do is we test the feces that's in here, and we send it off to a lab, and we do a worm count on it to see whether there's worms inside there, whether there's parasites in there. Typically, all of our samples come back clean.
Okay.
And a lot of it is because when we try to see it quick enough, and we'll treat that one animal. If we see it in the feces, we have to treat the whole herd.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So we'll treat only that one animal with the minimum that we need to keep that animal healthy. And then we don't have to do the whole herd routinely. And that's where you get into problems, because when you do that routinely, then the worms build up resistance to the products that you're using.
Okay. Do you rotate products, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We use different products for worming at different times. We have not had to worm in 3 years.
Really?
We haven't had to worm a single animal in 3 years.
And is that like one of those things that you're saying, like the state inspector is looking for at the time of slaughter?
No, he doesn't really care about that, because that's going to be in the intestine. It's going to go. He's going to look at the health of the liver, the spleen, the general overall health of the animal.
Okay. And is that the same guy who says whether it's prime or choice, or?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
The prime or the choice designation goes by the size of, I think, the second or third ribeye that you cut underneath a particular rib.
Okay.
And it's just a size determination.
It's just a size.
Yeah.
I thought it doesn't. You can have a smaller ribeye that has more marbling.
It won't be
tastier,
prime
but it
because
won't
it's
be
got to
prime.
be the size.
Oh, I had no idea it was even just
Yeah.
a size thing.
It's only a size thing.
Okay.
Like, you'll never have a prime ribeye coming off of a calf.
Yeah.
Veal, for example, will never have any prime.
Yeah.
But all of these animals none of these animals would classify as veal.
So is there then like, do you have to worry about a farmer who just sells cattle that are perhaps large but not of high quality just to get like a prime certification that says, well, it's the size? You can't do that.
There's no, you can't just get an old animal and a big animal and cut the ribeye out and it won't be big enough unless it has the fat. And unless they've been fed what they need to feed, they won't have that extra fat in there.
So it's really
It just
about
won't
the
get
fat.
to that size.
Okay.
It's got to have that marbling.
Okay.
Eat that. And that supplements the elements, the minerals that they don't get on the field.
Okay. You said you can eat this?
You can. You can taste it. It should be salty.
As long as you have.
You know, but it's just the minerals. It's like you taking a supplement.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of T-ball as a kid and like tasting the clay of a baseball pitch.
Well,
A little bit.
It's a lot of, you know, there's probably iron and things like that. I mean, it's red, so there's bound to be iron in there, but it's mainly salt
Okay.
because we don't have enough salt in our fields.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all animals need salt. It wards off infections and all sorts of things. So.